Joining me is Knox Colby from the band Enforced. Now, it's awesome to have you on because one of my diehard listeners, Ed Ferguson in Kentucky, has been talking about Enforced for months. And
really? Cool.
Yeah. So what I do is I have a Patreon page where a lot of these guys are there, and I post videos every day. I post at least 3 videos a day that are coming out. Bands.
That's a lot, man. That's crazy.
Well, there's a lot of music out there that, I want.
That's true.
I love turning people onto music. One of the biggest things for me, one of the things that I love the most is hearing, hey, because of you, I ended up buying this album, or you turned me on to this band. Or
see, yeah, that's really sick. Yeah, that's a good feeling. It's like it's like going into record stores and being like, yo, you like this? You should check this out.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of people my age that piss me off that I call lazy listeners, because to hear these fuckers sit there and say, well, no good new music has come out after 89, man. No, there's good music coming out always.
I've read YouTube comments. I'm aware.
Yeah. So, so that's the thing. So when I posted the first video you guys put out for the album, Ed blew his fucking mind because he's like, holy shit, new album. This sounds great. So when I had the opportunity, when I was asked to interview you guys, I'm like, I got to do this because
for Ed.
Yeah, for Ed alone. And then outside of that, helping get for you guys. So
gotcha. That's cool. Ed, if you're listening, I'm sure you are. Thank you. Love you.
There you go. Yeah. So you guys seem to always be on a 2-year cycle between albums, at least between the 3 albums.
Yeah.
Is that done on purpose, or that just kind of happened?
Yeah, I mean, like, At the Walls came out. I mean that came out in like what? Late 19,
right?
2018, like, no, 19. Yeah, because we did Tour with Integrity, and then we did a full US in 2020. Yes, at 19. Yeah. We were like, Killgrid was supposed to come out in like June of 2020.
Right.
So we were just like, it wasn't going to be a full year.
Right.
And if it was business as usual, it probably wouldn't have been, 2 years lapse like every single time. But
gotcha.
That's just the nature of the beast now. And especially with, we're really touring hard as hell. So I'd say there's not a lot. There's less time to sit down and write than we did during the post Killgrid coming out, and like pandemic and stuff. Had plenty of time to write. So, and then once like everything started to get lifted up and stuff, we were just like, time to fucking tour. So the tour with Exhumed, tour with Obituary, toured Europe, toured At the Gates, toured with 200 Stab Wounds and On Death and Phobophilic and stuff. You're just like, okay, we're done touring with Killgrid that was postponed for a year and some change.
Right.
Now let's get back on track with what we were originally trying to do.
Gotcha.
So we just wanted to tour on that so bad, and we never really got a chance to it. So it's just taking a little bit longer than usual, or than like projected or whatever.
Right. Okay. For you as a singer, as a lyricist, what do you do with lyrics? Do you have to listen to the music to start coming up with lyrics? Do you have a book where you start when things just pop into your mind that you write it down, or in your phone or stuff like that?
I've got a big Google Doc with just like random articles and research papers and stuff that I find interesting, and just kind of write like a quick, like in the moment, blurb of what I find interesting and how it can relate to something else.
Right.
And then kind of create like a Charlie Day looking at the web of like conspiracies meme, it looks like that in my head. So I'm like, it's all connected. Like I just gotta form it and figure it out. And that's when the actual like lyric writing starts. I have all the ideas and like all the information that I need, but I don't. There's no need to like put it into words yet until I hear the songs, and then kind of pick and choose. Just like, okay, I like this part. I like this vibe. Like that kind of fits with this idea. So it'll kind of like it's all sparsed out once I start hearing and learning all the songs as they're recorded.
Okay. What's the oldest lyric idea that you have sitting around?
That's unused?
Yeah, unused.
Well, I don't want to say it because if I say it, it's just this one line that says "Let the bells scream." Like I just haven't used it. Like I don't know what that means. It's like imagine like a church bell, but instead of it being like a clanging noise, it's like a scream. And I was like, sounds very nightmarish, very cool. Wrote that down, and that I haven't found a place to use it or any context to even kind of use that type of imagery.
Yeah. Cool. In this day and age where bands are still trying to fill 70 plus minutes worth of music to fit on an entire CD, you guys with
70
War
minutes.
Remains. Oh yeah, there's still bands putting out 70 plus minutes.
Respect. I could never.
Well, I think back, it's funny, I was going to bring this up later, but War Remains is 32 minutes. I still think back of the days where, you know, we traded tapes with friends because we couldn't afford to buy everything. So you bought a 90-minute blank cassette, was 30-something minutes an album, and then you're waiting to see, what did they use to fill out the rest of side A and then side B? So this album would be perfect for that because you've got those extra few minutes to, you know, what other goodies do I have on here? So
yeah. Cool. So I haven't heard that. That's a different approach. It's pretty sick.
But 32 minutes. I mean, to me, I think that's perfect because
what else do you need?
Well, that's the thing. Bands are recording all this music and then they're not ever playing it live. So what's the point? Get straight to the point, trimming the fat and just giving you exactly what you need.
Yeah, I mean, and we already, like the last tour we went on, we were already playing 2 new songs that no one even knew.
Right.
Like, we've already incorporated the new album into old sets. So just solely because it's like we just want to play them, you know?
Right.
Like kind of getting old of some of these songs. They can be retired. Like let's pump some new life into this and really get stoked on the new album. And most of the shows that we played, people reacted better to the new songs that they didn't even know.
Wow.
From the songs that they knew.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like that's good. That's good feedback when everyone's stage diving and circle pitting and shit. Like, yeah, that's kind of what I wanted you to do, and you're doing it. So great.
Yeah, exactly the type of feedback you're looking for. Why do you think they were doing that? Just because they were excited to hear something different, or
I think it's just where we put it was like right in the middle of the set is two new songs. So there was like 5 songs as a primer to kind of like get you in the mode and get you in the headspace, and then introduce 2 hard new ones. You already know what to expect because you already heard half the set, you know. So you know what to expect, so you know exactly what to do because you're already sold on it. So if you are sold on it, and there's haters everywhere, whatever. But it's like, okay, you've heard like what we have done, and right in the middle, we're gonna tweak it a little bit and show you something new. And let me know. I'd be like, hey, we have 2 new songs. They may or may not make the record. Let me know what you think. And then people just lost their minds. I was like, okay, they'll make the record. It's like record's already written, man. It's just a sly, like tongue in cheek kind of thing.
Yeah.
But people knew. But it was a lot of fun. And people really, really enjoyed them.
At what point do you guys cut things off per album, though? When you guys feel that every
We
song is
haven't
solid?
yet. Yeah, we haven't yet. It depends. What we usually try to do is to play the shortest ones.
Okay.
Because let's just say hypothetically, you've got like a 30-minute time slot. Right. Would you rather me play only 6 5-minute songs or 12 3-minute songs? Like,
yeah,
you want to hear more material. You don't want to only hear 6 songs. I know some bands have done that in the past, and just like we only play 5 songs because we want to keep them wanting more. And it's like you're also like withholding a lot. Like play a little bit longer. Play like 9 songs. You have 3 LPs. What are you doing? And so yeah, we try to pack in as much material, like as my dad would say, 10 pounds of shit into a 5-pound bag, and give you as much of ourselves as we possibly can in the shortest amount of time.
Yeah.
So, like trying to play songs like Kill Grid, which on the record is like 7 minutes, like live it's like 5. Like that's still too long. Like and like even the newer songs when we play them live, they're played faster. So you could probably pack in, like, I think for the new set that we're writing is like, I think it's like 4 or 5 off of War Remains, so it's like damn near half the album. So right. you're getting what you want, or like what I perceive everyone to want.
Right.
Just we're playing a new material, a lot of it.
Yeah. I can appreciate what you're saying, and I'll give you my situation. I was playing in a Misfits cover band, and we were playing a local award show. And they told us we had 15 minutes to play. And I said, okay, no breaks.
It's like 15 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're packing in as many fucking songs as we can, and we're going one to the other straight. And we ended up playing, something stupid, like 2 minutes per song. So, yeah. And even we did like a melody somewhere in there where we combined a bunch of songs. So 15 minutes straight, just playing, and that was it.
Yeah. So I think the set we have now, we have because we're playing Full Terror Assault and we're playing Dark Lord Day festivals this year, and I think both will require us to play like a 45-minute set.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, well, we already have the 30-minute set for like tour, but for these 45-minute sets, what do we do? It's just like, just add 4 more songs to the beginning, and that'll cover the 15 minutes.
Right.
And so now, instead of it being like 5 songs, break 5 songs, it's 10 songs, break 5 songs. Right. So like the first 30 minutes is like song done, start, song done, start, like bam, 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 bam. Like it does not end. It's a huge ass kicker.
Yeah.
Hopefully for the audience, and especially, totally for us, because we're just like, fuck, we won't stop playing.
Yeah. That's fun though. To rehearse that and get it all together and seeing if you can pull it off and all that stuff.
Yeah, we definitely can.
So cool. Yeah.
Yeah, when we played when we were on our European tour, we had to play hour-long sets at some places, and never done that before in my life. And I was like, do we even have an hour's worth of material? Apparently we do. So for those hour-long sets, we kind of had to like play the gigs and kind of build up to that. And I remember we were in Spain, and we played like it was like 35-minute set or something in Zaragoza, Spain.
Okay.
And they were like, one more song, one more song. We're like, okay, cool. We played another one, and they're like, one more song, one more song. We're like, okay, cool. Played it. We ended up playing for another 30 minutes.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, and the next day was a day where we had to play for an hour. It's like, well, I guess it's possible because we just fucking did it. So, yeah, we played for a full hour at Resurrection Festival in Spain, and I was just like, that's brutal. But it was a challenge, and I was really surprised I was able to do it. So I'm happy that I know I can do that.
Cool.
Or all of us can do it. It's very cool.
Yeah. What'd you guys think about playing Resurrection?
It was a fun time. It was weird because it was so late. We were on at 1 in the morning, or it was at midnight. It was either midnight to 1 or 1 to 2. So we got there at 8 o'clock at night, which we thought was like, okay, it's like wrapping up. Oh,
No.
Right in the middle of it. And I was surprised people actually stuck around because I think the ending of the main stage was going to be Bring Me the Horizon and then Korn, and then on the side stage was us at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then Korn dropped, so it was midnight to 1 because Korn dropped. So everything got bumped up a little bit. So we do a sound check. We're standing on the side stage, just watching Bring Me the Horizon like 2 football fields away.
Right.
And seeing this huge crowd, and it rained the entire day, but no one was leaving, which was awesome. Apparently people in Spain don't care about what time it is or what the weather is, which is awesome. So yeah, they finish and they're like, okay, 10 minutes until y'all start playing. We're like, okay, cool. Then we just watch like a mass exodus of people, of tired and wet people leave. And
Right.
there once, because there were so many people that like it took forever. So by the time that we started playing, there was still like, this big river of people stuck like right in front of our stage.
Right.
So I just started shouting, absurdities and obscenities at everybody and being like, you're a coward, you're a pussy, like you want to see some real fucking metal, here you fucking go, we're enforced, fuck you. And started playing, and like that pulled in like 5,000 people.
That's cool.
And I was like, cool. I mean, it's 15, 20,000 people, but like 5,000 people were like, this rules.
Yeah.
So how many times can I say that in my life? Is like, hey, accosted 5,000 people or 15,000 people, 20,000 people, and 5,000 of them really liked that.
Yeah.
And they stuck around and they fucking loved it. That place was going crazy during the set. And like at the end of it, they were just like, everyone was just like, holy fuck. And one of the most appreciative crowds, and I definitely appreciated them. I think that was the last day of touring it too. So I was just like, once it was done, I was like totally checked out. I'm like, I'm done. I'm so out of it. And having that really cool, awesome crowd there just made my whole first European tour like the best.
Yeah, the reason I ask is that I'm 6 hours east of where you guys played Resurrection. So.
Oh, really? Where are you at?
Yeah, I'm in the north center of Spain.
So. Oh, okay. We once we finish there, you're probably familiar with it. Definitely. Then we spent like just so we can decompress and enjoy Spain. We spent like 3 days in Bilbao.
Yeah, that's 40 minutes away.
Oh, dude, so sick. It was so nice. I loved it.
Yeah.
And like, I bought a bunch of clothes there. All I did was just nothing but just wandered around the city for like 3 whole days and like checked out all the parks, and it was such a great time. Food was incredible. Incredible food.
Yeah. So, as you saw the rain, the weather here in the north sucks, but our food and
Dude,
drink is what sets it apart from the rest of the country. So,
you live in Jurassic Park. It's ridiculous. Like the just the drive to Viviero, I was
yeah,
like, it's just lush. It's nothing that you picture. I pictured in my head as Spain. Like
right,
Zaragoza, that's what I pictured as Spain.
right, right, right.
But I was like, it's super wet, it's super green, it's super
Mhm.
mountainous, and you're right off the bay. It's
Yeah,
like, this place looks nuts. This is nothing like I thought it would be.
yeah. We're whenever people say, "Oh, you're in Spain," it's beaches and sun, and like, yeah, we got beaches, but it rains like most of the
What
year.
sun? Yeah.
Yeah,
Once I figured that out, because I kept checking, it took us like it's like a six. I don't know from where we stayed. We stayed like outside Zaragoza, so it was like 6, 8 hours or something like
yeah,
that to Viviero, and it was like, oh, it's going to clear up. The rain's going to clear up
yeah.
by the time we get there, and it didn't. And then I realized I looked at the radar, and it was like, yeah, it's not raining. I was like, oh, we're just in the middle of a cloud. Like it's just clouds because we're so high up in the mountains and everything, and
Yeah,
just
yeah,
playing in this like mountain town. Just,
right.
it was so foreign to me. I was like, this is so cool.
Yeah, and I will move on after this comment, but the
Sure.
latest I've ever been in a festival in Bilbao. Last band to come on was at 3:45 in the morning.
What are we
And
doing?
and they hit the stage and they say only in fucking Spain will we can we start a show at 3:45 in the morning.
Yeah, and have a full house.
Yeah.
I don't get it, dude. There's got to be something in the blood. It's just insanity. Like no one has the thought of sleeping crosses no one's mind.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like, and it was cool because like right after when we got there, apparently Metallica had played there like a day or two before.
Okay.
So there was a ton of metalheads
Yeah.
like still hanging out in
Mhm.
Bilbao. So they saw us, and we know we're wearing like all black, studs and shit. And they're like, "Oh, did you go to the gig?" And we're like, "No, we're in a thrash band." And they're like, "Oh shit!" Like,
Yeah.
"Oh, drinks on us!" And you're just like, "Oh no." Very cool, very welcoming. I liked it. I'd move to Bilbao in a minute.
Yeah. As a singer, did you approach anything different on War Remains?
Yeah, I didn't try to do anything special with my voice. Like
Okay.
at the walls was like my normal voice, but it's like really high just naturally, kind of screechy. So for Kill Grid, I was like, let's dial that down like a register or two and be like
Mhm.
more like from the chest or more like from the stomach and like beefier.
Right.
And that was really hard. So I was like, I'm not gonna do that. And we had just finished a tour with At the Gates, so I was like, well, I'm already primed up. I'll just do what I've been doing on stage.
Right.
And so that's just naturally how I sound now. And
Mhm.
I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That seems to be working. Sounds good. So there was no reason to like do anything out of pocket or like out of character. Um, so yeah, I mean that was a vocal approach that's just I think that was everyone's approach is just kind of just do your own thing and be yourself. Like there's no need to like we don't need to impress anybody. Like
Right.
we can just be ourselves. And I think it shows in the album as a whole. It's got a lot of character. It's pretty unique.
Yeah. Okay. And coming from Richmond, do you guys feel any sort of pressure because of bands like G.W.A.R or Lamb of God coming out before you guys?
No, not at all. I think it's cool. I mean, we've toured with Waste twice.
Okay.
And they're like, you know, when I was like young, when I was starting to go to shows at like 13 in Virginia Beach, like I would see Waste, you know, off of like Waste Them All or Hazardous Mutation, and being like, those are the fucking gods, man. Like they're like, if I could drink their piss, like my life would be complete, kind of thing.
Right.
But now I'm 33 and like I've toured with him twice, and it's just like, yeah, they're normal people just like everybody else. Like they're not crazy metal gods. They're just hardworking guys who have their nose to the grindstone and, you know, are just trying to, you know, achieve what they want to achieve, just like us. So it's like cool. So it's less of like idolization and more like affirmation of like, if I keep pursuing what I'm pursuing, and if I keep working as hard as I'm working, then that's a status or a level that I can get to if I play my cards right and do what I need to do professionally. So my view on bands like that is no longer like a Wayne's World, we're not worthy kind of thing.
Yeah.
And more like, oh, they're all peers because we're kind of all in this together in some sense. So, I still, you know, I look up to them as like, well, they've done more than me. They probably have a lot more knowledge that I could probably get from them when it comes to like doing bigger and bigger things, because we haven't done, you know, huge grand things like G.W.A.R, Lamb of God have done. But I don't think it's like it seems that everything can be attainable.
Right.
That makes
I hear
sense.
You. Yeah.
It's just like, okay, well, if these, you know, 3 bands from Richmond can do it, shit, maybe the 4th one can.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's interesting that you do bring up Municipal Waste, because obviously they're known for being crossover thrash. So are you guys known for that as well? But you guys don't exactly sound the same, because the influences, I'm sure, are different there.
Yeah, I know Tony really is he's a diehard for DRI. And bands like that, and Suicidal. And like, while I think those bands are great, they're not like my number one like influence, and I don't think those bands influence us like directly.
Right.
But like bands like Sepultura and Slayer and Demolition Hammer, and, you know, I think everyone is influenced by Cannibal Corpse at this point. Like, how could you not be? But but more darker and like tougher shit like that, where it's not as like, this isn't a diss, it's just an observation. Those bands like DRI and Suicidal sound like they have like this kind of like street rat mentality of like this, like those good for nothing rascals, like they've done it again kind of thing. Whereas, you know, Demolition Hammer or like Sepultura is just like, oh, that there's danger behind that, like actual severity behind the music and the people. Granted, there truly isn't, but it's just sonically that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And I think we're more drawn to that than the kind of more street vibe.
Yeah, I get it. Cool. Yeah, I was reading somewhere online that part of the band came from a punk background, and that lent itself to the crossover sound within Enforced. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, both our guitarist Zach and our drummer Alex are both in like a crust punk band called Destruct, which they just dropped a new album and it's fucking awesome. So check out Destruct for sure.
Okay.
Badass. I saw them play under a bridge to like 400 people, and it was the coolest shit ever. It was the coolest.
Right.
Yeah, so like we all have like more hardcore and punk backgrounds in general. You know, like growing up, like going to punk and hardcore shows is, especially in Virginia Beach and them, you know, being in Richmond and Northern Virginia is like it's a hotbed for stuff like that. So, you know, that's kind of like where you cut your chops on being in bands and meeting people and getting kind of like getting the experience from like a super early age. Like kind of once you get older, you know, you're getting better at your craft, and you're able to play harder things and play faster and do more. So it kind of like eventually bled into like we can actually start like a pretty good metal band now. We can actually play our instruments.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. How would you compare the crowds though between all those different scenes? Do you think they're just as accepting with what you guys do, or are? Yeah. Okay.
I would say so. I mean, like the crowds, if you were to put them side by side, they look totally different, but they still do the same stuff. Like still stage dive, still circle pit, still mosh, you know, still go off, you know, still get hammered. Like it's just they just look different. The more hardcore and punk demographic is obviously a whole lot younger than like the more of the metal demographic is probably, you know, like 15 plus years their senior, but
Right.
it's still fun. And it just kind of it's cool because it's like, well, it's bringing two completely different worlds together.
Yeah.
And we, I mean, like I said, we started playing hardcore shows and stuff originally, and so it's just kind of it's in the blood at this point. Like I've been going to hardcore shows since I was 13, so that's what 20 years. I've been going to hardcore and punk and metal shows longer than I haven't, you know.
Right.
So it's just kind of I can't not, you know.
Right.
I can't not support the aggressive music and the underground music scene.
Gotcha. What's the biggest crowd you guys have played to, and what's the most memorable crowd you've ever played to?
Might be one and the same. The biggest crowd was definitely Hellfest.
Okay.
That was like somewhere between like 18 and 20,000 people. I had never seen that many people at a festival before, ever. And, you know, having the artist booth, like where you get like drinks and stuff, it's kind of like a crow's nest above, like perched so you can see across both of the main stages.
Right.
So watching the Offspring play to like 300,000 people, it was just like everyone looked like ants. It was just like just movement. It was just like I was like, this is nuts. And it was like 110 degrees that day too. So I was like, how is anyone doing this? I think that was definitely the biggest. That might be the most memorable because it was such. I was really scared because that's a lot of fucking people.
Right.
And I kind of got this fight or flight reaction from like being side stage, and they're like 10 minutes to go. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And I would like leave and like just shove a dart as fast as possible and be like, okay, cool. And then go back up and they're like, 8 minutes left. I'm just like, no, and just immediately go back. And then like, oh, I gotta use the bathroom. Oh, my stomach is killing me. And then finally get back there and like 2 minutes, don't leave. I'm like, oh, now I gotta pee. Like, just like nerves, just nerve.
Yeah.
Because you can't see anybody from the side stage, but you can hear them, and it sounds like you're playing at the fucking Roman Coliseum. And I was just like, no. I'm not built for this, man. And then we walk out, and it's just like, like no one's ever done that for me. Right. And I was just like, I don't think I deserve this. Like, this is weird. This is very awkward. And I just said, what's up, you crazy motherfuckers? We're Enforced. And we started playing the set, and then the jitters went completely away. Yeah. And I just, we just played the set like we normally play the set. And got off, and like people were like freaking out about it and stuff. And I was just like, I think we're good. I think we did a pretty good job, and I just kind of rode that high for probably about a week or two. Like,
Right.
that was something else. So I would say that's probably one of the most memorable shows. Easy. Just so racked with nerves that like my body can't forget it, kind of thing.
Yeah. That's cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. Quite a contrast from 400 people under a bridge to all those.
Yeah, or I mean, we've played to no one before.
Right.
Zero. Not even the bands stuck around to watch.
Right.
It's fine. Totally fine by me. I'm just glad I got to play somewhere.
Awesome. Where can people? Well, this was my question where I fucked up the whole Century Media thing earlier. Where can people go to pick up War Remains and ensure that it gets the most amount of money into you guys' pockets?
Oh, well, there is 3 limited edition colors.
Okay.
The red color is our exclusive. We have all the red records. You can only get them from us.
Okay.
So that's the most direct way. But at the same time, I think there's only like 20 left that haven't been pre-sold. So get on that. And then the blue ones, I believe, are sold through Nuclear Blast.
All right.
I think that's their own colorway. And the white ones are sold by Century from Century's site.
Okay.
And then anything beyond that for us would just be merch, which if you go to our Instagram I gotta remember it at Enforced RVA, we have like a link tree to all like merch and ticket sales and LPs and all that spiel is all there. It'll have a link to our Bandcamp merch site, and I do all the merch in mail order from my house. So I've got a big mountain of boxes. Please, by all means, buy something. Cool. That's the easiest way to support us, is buy it directly from us. Okay.
And I'm assuming that's also the best way for people to keep up with what you guys are doing, whether it's
the Instagram is the most active. I don't even know why we have a Facebook. No one checks it. I can't remember the last time I checked it. Twitter, I don't have one, so I don't know who's in control of that. But I think we all kind of randomly check the Instagram page throughout the day, and so that's the easiest one to like get in touch with us.
Okay.
Hey, what's up? This is Knox Colby, and this is Signals from Mars.
Thank you for watching the Signals from Mars live stream. You can watch the show live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, or check out replays on YouTube. Go to signalsfrommars.com for more information. This concludes our show.